My name is Jesep. Um, I lost my leg when I was 18 years old due to osteosarcoma. I'm a patient at St. Jude. Made a decision to amputate my leg in 2001, and since then, after making the decision, pretty much decided that I wasn't going to just wallow and just kind of move on with life. Walked in my senior graduation, so I got my amputation in December, walked in April, and then started college soon after. Aaron, as a matter of fact, was my prosthesis when I got amputated when I was 18 years old, so he was a resident at the time. So I actually knew Aaron at the very beginning. He went off to do other things, and I continued to see CFI, prosthetic and orthotics in Memphis. Finished school, graduated. Literally about 7 years later, I went back and got my master's and moved to Nashville, got a job in Nashville, and then I actually volunteered at the Color Run, and come to find out, Aaron was actually the one running the charity that the Color Run was actually representing. We kind of got together, and he asked me if I wanted to do some running, and I said yes, and so that's kind of how the process started, and I started running about a month ago, about a month and a half ago really, as far as running. Took a little bit longer than that to kind of get the kinks out of the way, like the socket, knee fit and all that, but it's good. I think the great thing about running leg is gaining that freedom that you once had before the amputation. I think the sophistication as far as the knees now allows you to recover a lot of the things that you lost prior to getting your amputation. But I think that the one thing that's always missing is that ability to take it that next step. And running is one of those things that you naturally do. And with a regular prosthesis, you may be able to walk fast, but you can't quite break into that running pace. And so one of the best things about having a running leg is on a beautiful day like today, you can just pop your running leg on and just run, and it's that freedom that you once had, and being able to do that is probably the best thing. And you can ride a bike, and you can do all these other things, but there's really nothing that can kind of substitute the ability to just be able to run. And so I think it's probably one of the best things about having a running leg. I think trying to learn how to run as an amputee, I think, has taught me a lot about patience. It's taught me that, as a matter of fact, when I first went out to the track after getting my running prosthesis, after running with Brandon, I just realized that I know how to run with two legs, but I don't know how to run as an amputee. And I think letting that go and understanding the fact that the running mechanics, and as far as running as an amputee versus running as an able-bodied person, are two different things. And so, like, for me, it's like the pain of falling is what drives you to keep going and to ensure that you follow good technique, and you work at it so you don't fall. Right before I moved to Nashville, actually, I had sought out to getting a running leg, but running legs are one of those things where it's not really covered. It's not really deemed a necessity. It's more like a recreational type of thing, and so a lot of insurance companies won't pay for running legs. So I think it's one of the beauty of the amputee blade runners and the charities, that if you take away the financial aspect of getting a running leg, you're just really just focusing on getting the right equipment and taking away the financial burden. It allows people to just blossom into what you see on the wall, and what you witness at the Color Run is just that people can just go out there and do what they love. I mean, running is part of life. It's what we were born knowing how to do. It's one of those things that God has given us to do. And so I think, like, when you go through something traumatic as losing your leg, and however you lose it, whether it's through cancer or other means, is that that part of what you do gets taken away, and it's kind of like going against, you know, nature. You know, it's like it's the same thing of like, you know, what if you can't walk, you know, and you've walked all your life. You know, it's something you've done and you do, and once it's taken away, you kind of don't know what to, you know, you adjust obviously, but you always know that there's something kind of really missing. And so so running is just another aspect of that. You know, it's like you can't be whole until you can, you know, start running again.